The next component we're going to draw and construct is the drawer for our display cabinet. So we're going to go back into our part studio here down the bottom. So left click, double click on front on my cube here. Okay, and we're going to begin a new sketch. Now we'll start with the drawer front. So I need to select my sketch plane front. I'm going to start out with a corner rectangle G that is 228 millimeters by 72 millimeters. Press escape. Just going to delete those dimensions to tidy it up. L for line, Q for construction. Just going to click on this bottom corner here. We're going to come across 12 millimeters. Enter. Escape. And I'll do the same thing from the other side. So L for line, Q for construction. Left click. Drag across 12. Enter. Now from that point you can go straight up to the top, left click and enter. Escape. Now if ever you want to get any of your dimensions back, say for this line here or that line there, all you need to do is go up to our dimension tool here, left click once, click on our line, drag down. Now you can see that by putting in those construction lines there, it has changed my overall dimension, my original size, which was 228. So I'm just going to change that back. Okay, and it pulls it back into the size that it needs to be. Press escape. Okay, I'm going to go line and Q for construction again. Start at this bottom corner, come up 8 millimeters, enter. And I'll do the same thing over here. Now I can either come back over and restart it from the bottom, or I can just bring my construction line right across. You can see how it's gone yellow, and I snap it in on the side here, left click and escape. I now have my construction line set to begin drawing my finger joints for the front of the drawer. I'm just going to put in one more construction line. L, Q, come up to the top, making sure that it is 90 degrees. Done. Okay, this next part is a little bit tricky, but follow along so we can make sure that your finger joints are all evenly spaced apart. So we're going to start with L for line. Just going to start on this construction point, left click once, come across to where it intersects that construction line, left click, that should be 12 millimeters, that's fine. Going to come up, left click once, make that one 8, hit enter. Now come back across to the side here. We're going to continue that process and snake our way all the way up the side here. So 8, enter, then come up, 8, enter. Making sure that all my lines are perpendicular at 90 degrees. that is my last one, so escape. Okay, you're now going to grab your trim tool. Okay, so we can come along up the top here to our scissors, or we can press M for our shortcut. We're going to start trimming some of these lines that we don't need here. So we're going to remove that one there. There, and there. And you can see we're starting to make our finger joint. We're going to repeat this process on this side here to complete the other side. Left click, 12, up 8, and continue that all the way up, snaking your way to the top. And escape. M for trim. Start with the second line and delete every second section. And we now have our fingers on either end. I'm now going to go to my extrude tool. Okay, and we're going to extrude that 19 millimeters. Okay, that is now our draw front with our finger joints. There's one more step that we need to do, and that is to put a housing along the bottom here for the bottom of our draw to sit in. So I'll square that back up. I'm going to create a new sketch. Select the face, L for line, Q for construction. Start in the bottom corner here, zoom right in. I only want to come up 3 millimeters. Enter. Okay, escape. G for my corner rectangle. Left click once. Zoom out. And I'm going to come right across to this side here, making sure that that edge is now yellow. Left click again. Okay, if I zoom out, you can see here it's waiting for me to enter the dimensions. So 2 to 8, enter, and 3, enter. Now you can see that it has gone red again. Okay, it's just those conflicting dimensions. So press escape, zoom in on that dimension there, left click once, delete, zoom out, zoom in over here, left click on our construction line, dimension, delete. Okay, and you can see it's now changed our housing. Okay, it's made it bigger. We don't want that, but you can see over here we have another dimension. Now that's not 3 millimeters. Okay, it just doesn't look right. So if I zoom back out, Control Z, or press back up here to undo our last move. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this dimension here. Left click, just delete that one. Now you can see my housing hasn't moved. Okay, it's solved my sketch. I have no more issues. I can now zoom in on my rectangle here. I'm going to click in between, so I've selected the shape. I'm going to extrude. We are now removing because we're doing a housing. We're going to change that to 3 millimeters and click our green tick. And we now have our housing for our draw base. Come over here, right click, rename, draw